Hello, welcome back. Episode 3 of The Zone. I have just returned from Gamescom this very morning and I have so much to show you guys. We have all sorts of content. There were so many great games on show that I cannot wait to just dive in and give you my thoughts. That's what Gamescom look like on the outside. Now let's take a look inside and have a look at some of the games that were on show.
Titanfall is quite possibly my most anticipated game release for this year. It's made by the guys that started Infinity Ward, made by the guys that originally created Call of Duty 2 and Call of Duty 4, which I've already said are my two favourite Call of Duty games ever, and they will always be the best as far as I'm concerned. So when they come in now, well, there's this big gap in the esports FPS market, and release something like Titanfall, I am incredibly excited for it. This game we need something like this. The current Call of Duties just do not fit the bill. Counter-Strike Go is currently not quite there. I know Valve are looking to give it some love and try and push it, which they need to do if they are in any way going to compete with Titanfall once it comes out, because they are running out of time. And honestly, this game, it's everything I want in a first-person shooter, and I cannot wait to show you guys some proper hands-on gameplay as soon as I possibly can, because I honestly think it's going to be the first-person shooter of the year. So, Destiny. It's another one of the most highly anticipated first-person shooter release of the year, because this one is an FPS MMO RPG, so a first-person shooter, massively multiplayer online role-playing game. As you go through the game, of course, you're killing monsters, you're killing beasts, you're getting loot drops, you're getting experience, and you're leveling up. Fine, that's great, it's an MMORPG. But for me, that's not what an FPS is. An FPS is just good old-fashioned Call of Duty 2, Call of Duty 4, Counter-Strike Source, Counter-Strike Go. You have your guns, you have your set bases, you buy what you want, you pick what you want, you go in and you shoot people. I don't want to be grinding through for hours trying to get this weapon because it has an extra +2 stats on here, or it has a special lightning damage upgrade. I just want my guns. Best players are separated from the bottom players purely by skill alone, not by the gear you've picked up along the way and the hours you've poured into grinding into a game. So ultimately, yes, while I may not be buying Destiny because it's not my cup of tea, it does look like a great game, and if that's the kind of thing you're into, I have no doubt you're going to love it. If it is the kind of game you're into, let me know in the discussions though. Tell me why you love it so much, and maybe you'll be able to convert me and bring me around. So Watch Dogs, one of the most highly anticipated game releases of this year, and ultimately when I first got my hands on, great fun to play. The hacking mechanic in this game opens up lots of possibilities, opens up plenty of different avenues and different ways to play the game that you previously wouldn't have thought of in other games, of course, that don't have this. And on top of that, you think in doing this you may get a slightly confusing control system. It worked very, very smoothly, and admittedly I was on a console controller in the booth, but there will of course be a PC release. I'd like to think that the controls are going to transfer easily from one to the other. I mean, Assassin's Creed is a perfect example of easy to use console controllers, PC controls that some people aren't so keen with, but again, it's a Ubisoft game, they've got experience moving those kind of things across, so I do think this is going to work out very, very well, and I cannot wait to play that game on full launch.
So there you go, that's what I took from this Gamescom. I barely got to scratch the surface in games that I managed to play. So if you guys were there, if you played anything different, or even if you played those games and you have a different opinion, head over to eu.alienwarearena.com/thezone, find the group, find the discussion thread, and tell us what you thought. Tell us what you thought about those games or what you thought about other games in the discussion thread. While you're there, remember, our competition is still being run for 100 ARP, and you could of course use that to get yourself a copy of Saints Row 4, simply by telling us what would be your dream Saints Row weapon. It is known for having its crazy and quirky additions, the dubstep gun being the newest one. What would you put into Saints Row and why? It has some great suggestions so far. The two that spring to mind are rocket-propelled chainsaws. I think that would be great fun. And a weapon which rapidly ages your target. Up to you which way it goes, up or down, that would be a choice in game, and I think that you could have quite a bit of fun with. Winner of that competition will be announced next week. In next week's show, of course, we will be playing through and I will be reviewing and giving you my thoughts on Saints Row 4 itself, so good luck to everyone that's still trying to enter that. But until then guys, I hope you all had fun during Gamescom, I hope you all had a great week even if you weren't there, and other than that, I will see you next week.